Hey guys, what's up? My name is Officer Jacko, and today I'm doing my first ever, not live, sort of British police breakdown video of incidents that are going on at the moment before they get so much media attention. I hope that my videos can hopefully influence the change of this. Also, I've got a few announcements to make before I start the video. First of all is that I'm starting live streaming soon. Hopefully I'll have a live stream at about 6-7 o'clock tonight. Today is the 18th of the 3rd, 2018, and the stream will be from 6 till 7 Greenwich Mean Time. So hopefully you'll tune in. I don't know what I'm going to be playing. I might play a bit of Pure Farming or something like that. Some nice new games. Might go on the 5M server. Depends on what I'm doing tonight. But today we're reviewing this video that is called Racist Police Attack Black Man in London, UK. So it just says in the description, London police officer trying to attack innocent black man. So all these videos are always published by some bullshitty person who, so this video, I've looked into it a little bit, it's a police officer who's pulled somebody over, I believe for, I think it was not being able to stay in lane, or speeding, or it was something along those lines. It was a traffic offence that I know they've been pulled over for. So legally, any UK police officer is allowed to pull over any vehicle on the road, on any UK road. So there's no law against saying, well, because the guy's black, it's criminal profiling because the officer saw him and he's like, okay, let's just pull over some random black guy. So we're going to watch this video. It's only 2 minutes 40 long, but it'll be a nice little quick and easy video that I can show you all. So the comments simply say, why didn't you just cooperate? You deserved everything you got. Yeah, I totally agree with that. So where's the racism exactly? So it's not racism. The police asked him nicely to get out of the car, but he didn't listen. He deserved it. Then get out of the car. I feel so sorry for the cop. What we have here is an overworked cop suffering from mild to moderate PTSD and trying to make matters worse. He meets a cheeky barrack room lawyer who were both in the wrong. They were both in the wrong. The cop needs a doctor. The kid needs a few years locked up. He and his friends are clearly known to the police, possible local shooters. Well, that's the comment section, pretty much summed up. A lot of people are like agreeing with the cops. You've also got police did nothing wrong, whereas the racism, fuck UK apparently. That's just a very, very nice person. So we'll get the video started.
What's the matter? What's the problem, officer?
So already we have Mr. I'm a fucking retard and I don't want to roll down my window all the way because I don't particularly want Mr. Policeman Officer to see me through my window properly. I want to make it more awkward for this policeman who's done nothing wrong. He's just innocently pulled me over. So that's getting us started. So there's already 1 point on our I'm a fucking retard scale.
Why are you stopping me? Why are you stopping me?
Yeah. I want to get out the car so I can check your details.
Well, I don't.
So the police officer, this is a Metropolitan Police officer from the City of London, quite close to where I am, who simply wants to get the guy out of the car for his own safety because he doesn't want the guy to be driving off, if you get what I mean. Because if I was to pull somebody over, I wouldn't want them to be like, oh yeah, I'm in my car, and I would want to have them out of the car because then they can't get anywhere near the keys because there can sometimes be some issues in the UK. I'm not quite sure on the case law for taking somebody's keys from them, but I'm pretty sure an officer can legally do that. I'm also just going to put my sound onto my headset quickly. There you go, right. So he seems like he's done nothing. The guy in the car may or may not have done nothing wrong. From what I can see, it's a traffic offence and the police officers just pulled him over regarding a traffic offence. Right, so he doesn't want to get out of the car. You can check his details from within the car. The officer is doing this for his own personal safety. Of course, I'll link the video in the description below so you can watch through it properly without me having to pause it. But the officer is getting you out of the car so that he can check your details safely without you getting pissed off with him taking too long or whatever and driving off. Because then you've got members of the public that are then at risk. And you got to put all that into consideration as well. And you don't want to put the public at risk, but you also don't want to put yourself at risk. So getting them out of the car is a lot safer than, because therefore you're only then risking yourself and your fellow officers' lives. You're not risking the rest of the public if this guy was to go on a massive car chase around the City of London. So there you go. See, Mr. Officer Cleverpants here has said exactly what I'm just going to say. He's scared that he's going to drive off because you can see here, like right in front of it here, you've got Met Police Astra that's parked in front of the vehicle, and then you'll probably have another car behind to stop this guy from driving off. So I'm guessing this is some kind of dangerous driving, or driving while intoxicated, or unfit to drive, no license, no insurance, etc. Because people like this, you pull them over and then they just like fuck off in that direction, and that's what you don't want. So when he's saying that he's got the key out of the ignition, how hard is it in a fucking car to have... So when you're in a car, right, you have a spare key. I can't even find my keys to demonstrate, but in a car you have your main ignition key, and then you also have a spare key in case you lose your main key. So if you lose your main key, you've got another key to at least get your engine started back up if you can't find the other key. So for example, if you're in a rush to get to work. It's a handy thing, but also this guy could use it to flee off. Whether he's got a police car in front of it, how hard is it for him to ram into that police car, and then you've just cost yourself £2,000 worth of damage? Right, so the officer can see the keys out of the ignition, but probably what's going through his head at the moment is that, well, the key's out of the ignition, but where's the spare key? I'd need to at least know that there's no spare key in the vehicle, and having the guy out of the car makes it a lot easier than having to ask him, have you got a spare key? Because how hard is it to go, oh, hello sir, have you got a spare key? No, I do not. And then he puts the key in the ignition and fucks off up the road, yeah? So he's given him strong and loud commands so that he can hear, definitely, so you can't use it in court, well, I didn't quite hear the officer. If the officer's sitting there going, can you get out of the car, please? You want to use loud commands like, get out of the car, do it now, courtesy of Mike the Cop. But you need to use your do it now command, you need to use your being loud and vocal, so that the guy can hear you and knows that you're not there to fuck about. Right, so I think the officer's just tried the door handle to see if it's open or not, like slightly put his hand down to check the door handle, and then he's adjusting his walkie-talkie, which is a common thing. You want to always make sure that the criminal knows that you're like, you know, he knows that you're trying to get in the car, and he knows that he doesn't want you in the car, but he's still trying. So just seeing from the top there, racist police attack black man in London. I'm trying to find the racism first of all. Like, at the amount of traffic stops I've seen officers do, like, I'm police cadet, so obviously I haven't performed the traffic stop, but the amount of traffic stops I've seen, ride-alongs and things like that, you can see that the officer's there to protect him or herself, and they want to get it dealt with as quickly as possible. I haven't seen any racism yet, and I know there's going to be no racism in this video, because the black community, when... I'd say the majority, I'm not saying all, but I'm saying the majority of the black community have this issue with the police. In the UK, we haven't had an issue with the police. That's off in America. America have had major issues with systemic oppression, I think that's the right word, and systemic racism within policing for many, many years. But that's all calmed down now. People just keep on trying to re-escalate it, and this is what I mean. You've complained for so many fucking years about the issues that the police have had. The government has fixed that. We now have the human rights, the UDHR, that now work to protect both black, white, Asian, Indian, Arabian, Australian, Indonesian, fucking, I don't know, Indian, Bangladeshian, Mr. Talk Talk, Ramadama Ding Dong. They're all there to protect you and stop you from getting fucked by the police. Like, you see videos in America from like 1942, you'd hear things on the news like, police officer puts broomstick up prisoner's arsehole. Those are the kind of things you'd expect to see in 1942. It's 2018 now, come on. This officer isn't going to take you out of his car, put you in his van, and then shove a broomstick up your arse. That's what people used to do in the 1940s, when policing, yes, policing in America was racist as fuck in the 1940s. Policing hasn't always been the best. So, you need to make sure that you're not mistaking yourself with some brain-dead retard who thinks that all police officers in the UK are racist, because they're really not. They're generally all guys. You'll get arsehole police officers who are there. It's then 9 till 5, 12-hour, underpaid, overpaid, not overpaid, because when have we ever met an overpaid police officer, overworked police officer, who could be suffering from mild PTSD, because police officers see stuff that you wouldn't want to see. I would love to take this guy in this car who's being a prick to this police officer and take him on a shift with the Met Police, so that they get to see the people that have hung themselves that they have to go to, the people that have been mushed up by a car. So this officer before could have just seen a baby die. He could have been on a call where they've tried to get into a house of a dying baby, yeah? And that's what this officer's just had to go to. And then it's getting close to the end of his shift. It's around 5, 6 o'clock, so it's getting close to the end of his shift. He's got some paperwork to do later on, but he doesn't want to put up with your bullshit. He doesn't want to sit here and have you sitting there in your car going, oh, officer, I'm going to sit here and film you, okay? I'm going to sit here and film you. Oh, are you doing this right? Oh, no, I'm Mr. Arsehole. Please, sir, please. Oh, please just drive away. I don't want a ticket. I don't have a licence. Oh, please, sir. Yeah? And then they try to act like all police officers ever do in the UK is racially profile everyone. Racially profiling is a thing to do with the police, yeah? It is. Profiling and criminal profiling is looking at people. So if a police officer looks at you, and earlier on they'd filed a report about somebody who may or may not be you, they may look like you, they may be like you, and they filed a report that says, yes, half-caste black male robbed a chocolate bar out of a sweet shop, for example, called the police, and they could go, well, you look quite like the guy that fit the description from the CCTV, therefore police are allowed to stop you. They're not racially profiling you just because you're black, yeah? Racism applies to all races. White, black, Asian, Indian, European, foreign, wherever you're from. Foreign isn't even a place. American, for example. England, we are all English. The only thing that you think divides us is skin colour. The colour of your skin does not divide you from the other 84 million people living in this fucking country. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. So, this officer is just clearly just trying to put up with this